Tonight is the Langley Teachers Association. I will ask Gail Chaddock-Costello to come back. Gail.
Thank you, and thank you to all the candidates who came this evening and have so willingly answered all of these questions. I have two final questions for you. As the president of the Langley Teachers Association, we of course are concerned about contracts that affect our members. In 2001, the government decided not to negotiate and instead to legislate. That piece of legislation introduced Bills 27 and 28, and they had large-ranging and huge ramifications on the teaching, working and learning conditions of teachers, and students across British Columbia. As a result of the impact of that legislation, we lost our class sizes, we lost our language on class composition, and we lost our language on staffing ratios for specialist teachers. Across the province, that has resulted in over 3,500 teaching positions having been lost in the past 12 years. Now, the BCTF is active. They took this case to court and they won. We had a win from Madam Justice Griffin in April of 2011. We were jubilant. But unfortunately, in 2012, the government decided once again to not negotiate but legislate and reintroduce the same language under a new bill title, Bill 22. So my question to you is, if your party wins, are you prepared to stand behind the win of 2011 and allow the BCTF to have their contract language restored, or would you go forward and allow everybody, BC taxpayers and BC teachers, to pay for 5 more weeks of bargaining as we take this back to court in September of 2013?
Thank you. And let's start with Kelly.
It's just dumb luck that I happened to pull a quote out of the Better Schools for BC document, which I'm sure all the teaching members have read. It says, in 2011, the BC Supreme Court ruled that the 2002 legislation stripping class size, class composition, and staffing ratio language from the collective agreement was unconstitutional. The government promises to repeal this legislation by July 1st, 2013, but refuses to reinstate the stripped provisions. Now, what does that really mean? What it means is, yeah, we're sorry we made a mistake, but not going to change anything. So here's the simple answer. Again, my father was a professional. I'm a professional. As a professionals, we deserve to be treated as professionals and to be negotiated with in good faith. I can't imagine a situation during the time I was in school where teachers would be legislated back to work. My God, what has the situation turned into? We're basically treating them like they're, I don't know what. There's no word to describe it. The simple fact of the matter is that we need to negotiate in good faith, we need to stand by our agreements, and we need to improve the outcomes for our children. Because I can tell you, when my kids are out of school, they're worse off than they're in it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Wally.
You know, there's an old saying that when you end up going to court, everybody loses. And it's, again, I'm really shocked that you know, the teachers are being faced with the teachers, a group of people that are one of the most important people in our society, looking after our children, teaching our children, making our children into the productive people that they're going to be, are literally having to use the courts to get progress in these negotiations. So absolutely, I think that the government has to clearly get to the table, get it sorted out, and the teachers need to be respected for what they do. Thank you.
The confrontational attitude towards teachers in the past 12 years has been one of the biggest problems in British Columbia. You had a government that said you're not allowed to negotiate class size and composition, and you're not allowed to negotiate wages. So essentially, you're not allowed to negotiate. They passed those bills, and they broke the bargaining structure, and they broke collective bargaining. We absolutely need to repeal them, and we need to sit down and have real negotiations at the table.
Well, I can tell you, having been in charge of a school district from 1996 to 2001 when the NDP were in, the bargaining structure has been broken for a long time before the BC Liberals got at it. In fact, the BC Liberals were the first government to be able to reach a negotiated collective agreement with teachers. NDP had to legislate teachers back to work repeatedly. When it comes to class size, we've put class size in law for the first time ever, and that has meant that you now have, in K-12, you have 8,136 classes have 15 or fewer students. 4,257 K-12 classes have fewer than 10. You now have almost 19,000 SEAs, that's about 25% of classrooms, and 98% of classrooms are 30 or below. Those that are higher are typically in areas that benefit from a higher class size, such as choir, drama, etc. Ultimately, these things have to be resolved at the bargaining table.
Thank you, Mary. And Lisa.
The Green Party believes that we need to work closely with our communities, which means working closely with our teachers in the communities and understanding what is needed for our children, what type of education is needed for our children, the services that are needed for our children, and class sizes. Every community is going to be different in the terms of their needs, so working with teachers and letting us know what is needed for them. Obviously, working together then for when you're bargaining is going to be respect and not dictating terms at a province-wide level, mandating them down to the community level. It's going to be a community level determining what's best for the community.
Quick anecdote. Rick and I spoke recently at West Langley Elementary. 2 classes, there are 58 kids. So the class composition is not a lot of classes under 15. We have to right or wrong. There's no question here. And I come back to its respect. And respect for not just the teachers, but respect for the students and respect for the parents that are going through all of this as well too. And we have to remind ourselves what's best for students. We have to move into a situation where it's far less conflict, far less confrontation. I just wanted to mention for the teachers in here, you're not alone in this. Healthcare workers have gone through a similar situation. There have been a series of contracts broken and government laws to impose a will. So you're not alone in this. So we have to move to righting a wrong. And hopefully after the 14th, there'll be a government that comes to the bargaining table that is respectful of the people that we're negotiating with. And I don't think you can ask for much more than that. Basic respect.
Our leader, John Cummings, was a teacher, and a lot of the policy that we have enshrined in the documents that we do have in the BC Conservative Party speaks to that. It appears currently we have a government that's constantly feuding with the teachers and a seemingly endless, constant contract negotiations. The people most directly affected by this are the students, and our children's future is being jeopardized by the inability of the teachers and the government to negotiate a fair, workable agreement on a timely basis. It speaks of failure on the part of the government. We do support the ability to negotiate and not legislate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.